Do you want to learn to speak JSON? Well, here it is without any technical talk.
I built bots before they were cool.
JSON was once an obscure data construct that was known only to web developers. But with AI and structured prompting, more and more non-technical people need to learn JSON. I'm going to explain JSON in very physical terms. I'm going to try to avoid as much technical jargon as possible. I'm going to show you how it's written because I think that's important. But keep in mind that I never write JSON myself. I always use AI to generate JSON, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So here we go. JSON is absolutely amazing for its ability to describe or model even the most complex objects with sheer simplicity. It basically works like this. The most basic element of JSON is the key value pair, which you can think of as data at an atomic level. A key value pair is a label followed by its value. Think of a form that you might fill out where there are places for your name, rank, and serial number. That information is displayed in JSON like this. Objects are collections of related key value pairs that are used to describe things. This allows us to describe very complex things by using only descriptions of the simple things they're made of. In addition to objects and key value pairs, there's a special kind of key value pair called an array. I don't want to fog the issue right now, so we'll talk about them later. Here's a real-world example of how objects work. This box represents an object. Apparently it's me. And inside this box, let's see what we have. We have, as you might suspect, a collection of other objects. We have one called a hat. And I assume inside this object there'd be a description of my hat. We have pants, and again I would assume that this would be a description of the pants I'm wearing. Here we have shirt. Let's just see what's inside the shirt object here. Inside the shirt object I've got other objects. I've got one called origin. I assume this would have fulfillment information. I have another one called material. Let's look at the material object and see what this is. So what we'll find here are descriptions of the material that the shirt's made out of. Fabric, linen, weight, light, color, white. Okay, you get the idea. Let's see what else we have here. We have an object called personality. That sounds empty. We have one called body. Let's take a look and see what's inside body. We have a bunch of other objects. I see left arm, right arm. I see one called head. Let's see what's inside the head object. Inside the head object, we have another object called eyes. And these are descriptions of my eyes. Shape, oval, sight, 20/20, I wish, color, brown. That is a very physical description of how objects are constructed. The deeper you go, the more detailed the descriptions become. Every complex thing can be broken into smaller things, and each smaller thing then becomes its own object. That's really all there is to know about JSON. Large objects are made from smaller objects. Large models are made from smaller models. Okay, I don't want to talk a whole lot about syntax because, like I said, I never write JSON by hand. I always have AI do it for me, although I might go back and edit it by hand later. But generally, I always have AI write my JSON for me. Let's say I want to define a chair, and I plan to generate consistent images of that chair in generative AI. So I need to create a chair object. So the simplest way to do this is to find a picture of a chair or take a picture of a chair that you want to model and then ask AI to create a JSON description of that chair. So I would do something like this. I would upload the image and I would say, please create a detailed JSON description of this chair. Make the JSON description sufficiently descriptive that this model may be used to produce consistent renderings in the future. And here's my JSON. Now, it's important to have a basic understanding of JSON so you can make edits, but it's certainly less important for you to know the grammar. That comes naturally to you the more you use JSON. And besides, AI can check your grammar for you. Now, what can I do with this? Well, I can combine JSON models. For example, I can upload JSON models of two things, like the chair we just created, and Alex that we used in a few videos ago. And now I can write prompts to have Alex sitting on a chair. I can have him standing on the chair. I can have them offer similar chairs for sale. You get the idea. Like I said earlier, there is one more construct in addition to key value pairs and objects, and those are arrays. An array is simply a key value pair where there's more than one related value. Arrays are always written like lists. And arrays are really useful for describing records that have varying lengths, like the items from these two very different receipts that we used in a video just prior. If you've watched my other videos or read my book, you already understand how powerful JSON descriptions or JSON models are. So like and subscribe, and come back later.